congratulations, Marcy.
Thank you.
You must be very excited.
I am.
Now, the category was instrumental. You're a violin player by trade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Could you tell me a little about your training back in Czechoslovakia?
I studied conservatorium for 6 years in Czech Republic.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm classically trained, obviously. And
Yeah.
it gave me good basic for my playing.
Yeah, yeah. And you play the piano also?
Yeah, it was secondary instrument, but I think I'd rather stick with the violin.
Now, you've been here in Australia for 10 years, and you've been playing in all sorts of situations. Can you tell me a few of those bands?
Okay. My first ever band, which I started with, was Ruckus.
Yeah.
But it was called Wild Country, but still I've been playing with them like till recent. Then I played in a supremacy band, which was Gothic Metal.
Gothic Metal?
So
Wonderful.
I will never forget the situation when I went for a metal festival and those musicians, what you gonna do here with the violin? It was quite like melodic metal, so
Yeah.
I loved it. Then I played gypsy music with band Berserker,
Right.
a blues band called Little Rain, and now I'm actually working on my new project.
Right. Okay. Now, how did you come to write this piece of music that's won? I'd like to know, obviously there aren't words, so maybe there's not a story to it, but there would be
There's
an
a story
intention.
behind.
There is? Okay, let's hear it.
I always wanted to write, but somehow I was suppressed in a childhood, and I was told I can't ever play, and but I was told I can never write music.
Yeah. By whom?
That's okay.
Okay, go on.
And then something upset me a lot, like about 5 years ago or 6. So I wrote this. That was actually my first instrumental I've ever written, and it was supposed to call different, but I called it Black and White because everything is black and white, like evil or good things.
No grey area.
So yeah, and I'm so glad that it really won it because I think it's a good start with the first one.
I'm dying to hear it. I'd love to hear it. So you've played in a lot of situations that it sounds to me like improvisation is a big part of your performance. Now, being classically trained, a lot of people think that improvisation wouldn't be part of your training there.
It wasn't, and true is, if somebody is classically trained, it's hard because you are really sort of, you're just focusing on music.
Yeah.
But I'd say in the meantime, when I was studying conservatorium, I was playing at a lot of places with a lot of musicians, and that was all improvisation. So I started with melody line, then harmony, and then slowly do my own stuff. So I actually studied 2 conservatorium, which is one is classical and one is pop conservatorium, like playing.
Yeah. Now the Czechs have a great tradition of music.
Bluegrass.
Well, all sorts.
I grew up on bluegrass.
From the classical composers like Janacek and people like that, and then with jazz, I mean Jan Hammer and all sorts of people have come out of there. There aren't very many people there. Why is it that they produce so many great musicians?
I think it comes from heart, like
But we all have a heart.
I know, the Czech was born to be a musician, that's like a Czech saying.
Is it?
I don't know if it helps to explain.
Yeah, well, that explains something. Yeah, I'm sure. But it is actually an interesting thing that, I mean, there aren't very many Czechs in the world, but they seem to have really punched above their weights as far as, musicians. And now, have you recorded a CD?
Yes, I released, when was it? Not last year, before. And this CD is called Move On, and it's got 14 tracks for instrumentals.
Yes.
And it's all what I've written, and it's like a blues, classical influence, a little bit gypsy, country, some like a multiple personality.
Yeah, great.
Music.
Right, great. Well, who were the violin players you looked up to?
I really like Mark O'Connor from America.
Yes, from Dixie Dregs.
And that was my hero.
Yeah, great. Well, I can see why you'd get into improvising then. Yeah.
I love it.
Now, you're at a situation now where if someone could give you that push and a little bit of help, I wonder how we're going to get that person on board, a producer or somebody, is it?
That's my dream.
Yeah?
Because I'm actually working on my new band, which is going to be based on female vocals.
Yes.
Got another two really good.
Within what
singers.
genre?
It's gonna be a bit of everything and original eventually later on.
Yeah.
Before they got original songs, but it's all starting, and the band which plays with me tonight, they're actually gonna be in a band.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
I would like to thank them that they really came from Melbourne.
Came up from Melbourne, which is where you
For
live.
me, yeah.
Yeah, boy. Well, you know, there are bands like, I mean, Monsieur Camembert comes to mind that are playing, you know, not mainstream stuff and doing quite well. I can't see any reason why you shouldn't.
My band's gonna be called Moving On.
Yes.
Without G, so good tune.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if anyone sees this interview and they'd like to jump on board and give the girls some help, I'm sure they'd appreciate it.
That would be lovely.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see anybody.
Yeah. And what are you hoping to achieve in the future with your music?
I just like to please people's heart and be successful in terms like people really would say this is the band I'd like to listen when I like to be having a good time,
Yes.
when I feel sad, when I enjoy my dinner, anything.
Yes, yes, yes. And taking the band perhaps back to Europe might be something you'd like to do?
Europe, Asia,
Yeah.
even Antarctic. No, maybe not that.
Most violin players have a love affair with their violins. I'm sure you do too. What is your violin?
My violin is Epoch. I've got actually 3 violins.
Yeah.
But tonight I'm playing Epoch because it's from a company from Queensland.
Yes.
It's a beautiful instrument, it's black, and my friends play white, so because the instrument was called black and white, we're gonna use black and white.
Oh, I
Epoch.
see.
And yeah, I would suggest everybody who plays on stage and like to have a good sound because it's designed for this sound. So thank you to Epoch.
Yeah. There are some people you're grateful that have helped you to get to where you are.
I'd like to thank my band Ruckus because
Yes.
they actually promote me with this black and white and help me. I'd like to thank my husband Sean and his family because they've been, and Roscoe, they've been very supportive.
Yes.
And then I'd like to thank Dan and
Claire.
Jeff, which came from Melbourne to support me tonight.
Right.
And Australian Songwriting Association, of course, because otherwise I would have been here.
Yeah.
I think it's a good to have an event like that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, and
Thank you very
I'm
much.
really looking forward to hearing the performance tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.